Hey traders, my weekend video here. So one main takeaway that I have from this week is how VIX is diverging from the major indices. We are maintaining a bid in the VIX. We're starting to flirt with the $20 level here on the VIX going into October here. So here we are, the 28th. We're starting October. VIX is starting to get in the 20s, getting over the 20s. Things really start getting exciting. So we're getting signs that the trading ranges are about to likely explode, and the average 2 range for the days is about to explode into. So you won't have these tight ranges that we've been fairly. I mean, you make some pretty good money on the ranges we've already had, but we're actually looking like that we're about to have much greater volatility here in the market. So heads up on that. So I'm going to go with my core charts here. I'll go down the 1 hour here. Okay, that's the 1 hour. This is the bigger time frame. Go down here on the 1 hour now. And as you can see, this is the primary trend, this green line right here. Okay, we're in a blow off top above that green line, heads up on that. And that same area is above that gap from FOMC. So there's really high odds that we're going to be coming back down into this area. We'll see what happens here. Okay. Plus we're in a blow off top on this monthly trend. So this is our September trend from anchored VWAP. Our September 10 from trend from anchored VWAP. It does look like we're about ready to break back inside a trend starting next week. The VIX is actually warning us that also. And we did manage to close on last week's anchored VWAP as well. So basically for that, just this past week, we managed, instead of pushing up away from the anchored VWAP for the week, we came back down to it to suggest that there might be a trend change right out of the gate first thing next week. So heads up on that. This momentum to the upside could be done for a while. So definitely be warned on that. We start losing the 569.40. That's invalidating last week's trading here on SPY. So be very mindful of that going forward here. Okay, cues. Go back over to 1 hour so you can see a bigger time frame here real quick. Okay, and so basically we got a gap that hasn't been satisfied. We've got this gap down here, but this is an island, just like on the S&Ps. Technically an island. We came down pretty hard here on the daily time frame here, right back into the anchored VWAP going into next week. So for the week, that was the weekly anchored VWAP. Okay, this is the 2-week anchored VWAP, and this channel represents the September trend. We came right up to the top of the September trend, okay, and it got rejected. So heads up on that. So we didn't actually get a blow off top on the cues. We came right up into the resistance, and we fell back down here. And as I show here, a bigger time frame, you see how these anchored VWAPs are lining up. This was drawn completely not based off of these other areas. It was completely based off of September 1st to the current September slope. Okay, and then I drew it out based off of the most recent prior swing highs. I think right here's the most recent prior swing highs. So that's how I came up with that channel. Okay, guys. So I just didn't blindly do it. And so heads up on that. Did I go down to 1 hour yet? I can't remember. Go down here 1 hour. See what's happening here. Right into that. Coming into Monday. Good chance we're breaking trend from last week. So be very mindful. I did call out, a major top, and I was actually short right up here at the open at 9:30, whatever time frame that was, 9:30 Thursday. I was short, and it played out very well for me. So heads up on that. IWM. We can go over to daily. So daily, a little bit more bearish here. So we are above. We got two different things going on here. The Russell closed above the week's trend barely, but the week actually flipped to a downtrend. So we actually had a lot of bearish side action during the week, and we did manage to push up above uh, and close slightly above the trend for the week, but not very good. But we're also breaking the 2-week trend on IWM here on the daily time frames. Okay, heads up on that. So it's still acting the most weakest of all the indices. Okay, go down on the lower time frame here, or go 4 hour or 4 year real quick. You can see that really good. This is how the trend is lining up. So I think it's quite a valid trend based off of the pattern that I'm seeing here. This is a very, very valid trend. So be very mindful of that. 1 hour, and as you can see here, so we came down the last hour. We held the support, barely closed above. This white one is the prior week's anchored VWAP. And there was a call wall here. This area right here had a lot of call activity the prior week. There were a lot of calls that they sold. So we were holding right at that very critical area here on IWM. Losing 220, things, turning a lot more bearish. So be very mindful of that. We still have not completed that FOMC gap as well. So be mindful of that. Diamonds. The daily chart is quite amazing on this one here. The daily. Look at that, guys. Look at that daily chart. Okay. So basically, here is your September anchored VWAP. I anchored a channel. Go on a bigger time frame. Here, you see how this channel is lining up with this. Lining up with that, lining up with this. I think this is a very valid channel. Go down to 1 hour. Now you can see what's going on here. That daily time frame looks like a blow off top. Really, really starting to look like a blow off top. So be very mindful. We are above both of our weekly anchored VWAP and our 2-week anchored VWAP as well. So this is not a bearish pattern yet, but we did get a warning that rejection there into Friday. This is warning us, okay, and we're still holding above critical supports. So this is just a warning. Right now, technically, it comes back down into the 421.45. Technically, that would be by the dip, but be forewarned. By coming back down into the critical support, you're breaking that anchored view up early on in the week. So that's not really the way I'd want to trade that trend. Okay, and you still have that FOMC gap. That's an island top, so you still have an island top above the FOMC gap. SMH. Okay, guys. So we actually did break below last week's so we did look below last week's anchored VWAP, showing a little bit more relative weakness. Go out here on the daily first. Daily. Okay, so the things I'm looking at here. We came up into the massive call wall. It got rejected this week, right back into major support. So we're pretty much neutral on the week based on trend for 4-year. And as you can see, this channel, based off of the September anchored VWAP, I think it's quite valid. This is lining up really good with this area right here. I think it's kind of lining up pretty good here. We'll see what happens here. But ultimately, we can go higher, and then this, we're really out of time for this to really change anything, because this is 28th already, so this thing's really not going to change that much at all. This is actually giving us a pretty good indication that momentum is drying up in the SMH using the September anchored VWAP. So this is really giving us a warning. Okay, Apple. Let's go here. On the bigger time frame, and I'm just looking at this from September on. Okay, guys, so from September on, I don't have that drawn out right. It should be over here. Sorry about that, guys. I drew it off the wrong one. I don't think I updated this chart. Give me a second. Okay, guys, now I got my chart updated here real quick. This is lining up. This channel, this is a trading channel that we're currently trading in on Apple. Actually, it's pretty well neutral for the month of September, so be mindful of that. For the entire month of September, we're just a slight edge to the upside, but you know we got one more day in the month. That could all change. Um, so be mindful of that. Go down on the 1 hour. As you can see, this is this. Where's it at? I just drew it out. Give me a second here. Daily. Yeah, there it is. Okay. That's price level. Okay. Okay, guys, this right here represents the start, and that's pretty much where we closed. I don't need to put a separate line in that. So that right there, we're still hanging above, but barely above the anchored VWAP for the week. So this is a little bit of warning here that we couldn't really push out above that this week. Microsoft, I'm pretty sure I did that one. Microsoft's really looking weak. It's one of the weakest megatechs out there. Okay, we're below this week's anchor VWAP. We're walking down Microsoft. We are on the verge of going to test for a break of the September anchor VWAP channel. So I'm looking for this Monday to be coming down to the bottom of the channel. So heads up on that. Microsoft looking really weak to finish off the month. AMD is looking really bullish. Pattern still very bullish here on AMD. NVIDIA starting to act a little bit weak here. Okay, we went actually closed on the bearish side of last week's inventory. Okay, heads up on that. We did manage to drive back to the start, so Monday start. So basically, you can say NVIDIA really didn't give any direction whatsoever. We closed pretty much flat on the week. Tesla is very bullish. Okay, probably going up to 275. Very bullish pattern. Heads up on that. Trying to break out. Google found resistance at the call wall. That's all I can say. Ideally, what I like to see is to see a stock who starts the week to break above the call wall and make that new support. We do not see that with Google. So this, in my opinion, is still short the resistance. The 165 is short the resistance because it has proven that we could not break through that resistance. So this is a weak chart, in my opinion. We did not make new resistance into new support. We did not make resistance into new support. In fact, we rejected resistance, closed below both call walls, the massive one and the weekly one. So this one here is still, below 570. This is new resistance. So you should be looking to short Meta, Amazon, until you get above that call wall. Amazon, I accidentally erased my call walls and stuff on this one. It's acting weak. Looks like it's going to be going down to the anchored VWAP for the month. I would be looking for this to be coming in Monday. Heads up on that. So be very mindful of that. And then Netflix down here real quick. We did lose all of last week's. We had a really great. We came above the 720 call wall. Completely destroyed it. This is setting up as a bearish chart pattern, so heads up on that. We did the prior week holding above 700. 700 is still support. That is a critical area, to 700 area. But this is not a continuation. So the only ones that are showing up as continuation patterns, AMD and Tesla. Okay, and uh, and that's really the only one showing a lot of strength. Okay, AMD and Tesla. We lose that strength, and we are in a lot of trouble. So we're coming into the first of the week. Um, I'm still looking to the bearish side, so I will be looking for possible short entries in AMD and Tesla probably. So I know that sounds a little crazy, but I want to see strategic areas to be looking for the short side in those names. Okay. Some final thoughts. I got XLF on here. Financials really were not doing very well last week. That's what was giving IWM most of its weakness. But some things that I really want to mention here that, sorry, October by far is the weakest month of the year, by far. And historically, we lose on average 3% in the month of October. So be very mindful that, uh, this is where, in my opinion, we have hit target highs in the market. The Qs especially hit the targeted high. And so be very mindful of that. So in my opinion, right there, see that was our breakdown pattern, right? Candle right there. Right there is where we broke down, and that's exactly where we rejected. So be very mindful of what happened, you know, what transpired here. So you should be very, very mindful of what just transpired here in the markets. So uh, you know, please like the video if you like it. Retweet me on X, Twitter, if you get a chance. Please do that. Need to get some more viewers on these videos. Really appreciate it. And I appreciate any comments at the bottom of the YouTube channel that you can give. I appreciate the feedback. If anybody wants, I do have a Discord channel. Is it Income Trader? Yeah, yeah, there it is. Income Trader. If anybody's interested, it's free. Just let me know. Okay, thanks a lot.